Hello and welcome to the Downsized. I'm Christopher Durham, and together with my wife Laraine, we've lost over 140 pounds using GLP-1s. I've personally lost a little bit more than 90 pounds using compounded Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, and Zepbound pretty much interchangeably. And of course, that's what makes all of this week's news so exciting, disturbing, all of the above. Hello, everybody. Say hello if you're out there. Let me know that there's life out there in the interwebs. Looks like we've got about 34 people on there. We'll give it a few more minutes and we'll get started. It's cold here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I am. I think it's cold across much of the country. And my Tirzepatide body is freezing, I'll tell you what. Hello, everybody. Everybody rolling in. 11:31 here on the East Coast. I'm actually in Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll get started with a little bit of news today. So hello, video data. Linda Landers can't stay on long. No, I probably won't be on long either, but that's okay. Hello, Thin from Within 66. Hello, Jazzy MDG. All right. So should we do some news? Because, there's all kinds of fun stuff going on. All right, we're here to share what we've learned and keep you updated on the latest news about GLP-1 treatments. But before we get started, please remember we are not doctors. I'm not a doctor. Lorraine's not a doctor. Everything we share is based on our own experiences and research and talking to a lot of great folks in the community. Always talk to your healthcare provider before changing your healthcare plan, your obesity plan, or your treatment plan. Hello, everybody out there. If you're new to our channel, please do not forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss an update, and so that the gods of the YouTube algorithm will recommend us to the rest of the world that are looking for information on GLP-1s. So a couple of news stories that have hit in the last 2 days. Let's see who else we have on here. It looks like we've got 54 people. Hello, everybody. Eva Geisler says, good morning from Taylor's. Are you in Taylor, South Carolina? Susan Nicholson said, good morning from sunny Pleasant Hill, California. I'm sure it's warmer there. But let's start out and get through some stories, and then we can chat a little bit. A lot going on over the last 2 days. So story number one is an important update on the ongoing legal battle involving compounded Tirzepatide. So something I know many of you are watching closely. The Outsourcing Facilities Association of the OFA is taking on the FDA in court, challenging restrictions around compounded medications, namely Tirzepatide. This case could, of course, have major impacts for access to affordable GLP-1 treatments for patients who are using GLP-1s to treat their disease of obesity. Originally, the court had set the hearing for January 10th, which is Friday, but of course, hazardous weather is on the way, snow is on the way, and it's forced a change in the schedule. So you see here, the judge actually released a schedule change. So the hearing is now set for January 14th, 2025 at 2:40 p.m. at the U.S. District Court in Fort Worth, Texas. This delay, of course, gives both sides more time to prepare their arguments or stay home and play with their kids in the snow. Depends on what you're doing. And gives all of us more time to think about the bigger issues this case highlights. The OFA's argument centers around the need for compounded medications as an affordable and accessible alternative. And it settles around, really, did the FDA do their job, and did they do their due diligence in deciding that Tirzepatide was in shortage? The FDA, on the other hand, says compounded versions need stricter oversight to ensure safety and effectiveness. But here's the bigger picture. This case raises serious questions about the role drug manufacturers, pharmaceutical benefit managers, and regulators play in deciding what treatments patients can actually access. So there's a lot of gatekeepers between us and the medications we need to keep us healthy. As I've said before, the U.S. healthcare system is complicated. Drug companies, PBMs, distributors, and pharmacies all have their hands in our wallets, but it all starts with the drug companies. That's why cases like this are so important. So, of course, there's more coming on this, and we'll keep you updated on that. Story number two. So if you were up late last night, Dave Knapp from On the Pen broke the story. But let's be honest, it's no surprise. We saw this one coming. Eli Lilly's legal team is back at it, protecting their patents and their profits. We sat on this morning, hoping to see some independent verification from mainstream news or even some of the letters posted on Reddit. So far, nothing. I'm sure Dave's right, though, so I have no reason to question what he's saying. I believe absolutely that Eli Lilly is coming for everybody trying to sell copies of their patented medications. The FDA's December 19th order declared the Tirzepatide shortage officially over. That means no more leniency for compounding pharmacies that stepped in during the supply crunch. Now, of course, we're all skeptical of that, and we know that there are many of you who still have a hard time finding your medications. If you do, make sure you go to the FDA site and report it. There's links at our website, thedownsized.org, on the resource page. You can go and send them a report. So Eli Lilly's been sending out cease and desist letters to telehealth companies, making it clear the grace period is short. To avoid unnecessary disruption to patient treatment, the agency does not intend to take action. The FDA does not intend to take action against compounders for violations of the FD&C Act arising from conditions that depend on tirzepatide injection products, inclusion on the FDA drug shortage list. So this is information we've already known, but it hasn't changed. But just to restate it, for a state licensed pharmacy under Section 503A of the FD&C Act, compounding, distributing, or dispensing tirzepatide injections within 60 calendar days from today's announcement, they'll need to stop, which is February 18th. For outsourcing facilities or pharmacies under Section 503B, compounding, distributing, or dispensing tirzepatide injections within 90 calendar days from today's announcements, which would put it at March 19th. So those dates are still in place. Who knows what happens with the legal proceedings? The letters highlight the FDA's stance. Compounded tirzepatide isn't proven safe or effective in manufacturing quality. That's a big question mark. According to Lilly, they're giving pharmacies 60 to 90 days to stop production. Of course, that's coming from the FDA. Now, the quality, I mean, you and I both know these are state-regulated pharmacies using FDA-approved ingredients. I have personally taken compounded tirzepatide, Zepbound, and Mounjaro for the last year plus, lost 90 plus pounds, and honestly not seen a difference between any of them. They've all worked very well for me. Same weight loss, same side effects. So after, of course, those grace periods are over, who knows, right? It's game over. Eli Lilly's legal muscle isn't pulling any punches. They're pressing hard to shut down compounded tirzepatide and push patients toward their branded options, Mounjaro and Zepbound. But of course, we know there's a catch. So can Eli Lilly even handle all the new demand without creating another shortage? That's the million-dollar question. I don't think any of us believe they can. For patients, this is just another headache. Compounded tirzepatide had become a lifeline for people who couldn't afford the sky-high prices of Mounjaro and Zepbound. Now, they're being forced, or Eli Lilly is hoping they will switch, dealing with insurance hassles, higher costs, and possible treatment gaps. And let's not forget, telehealth companies don't actually make the drugs, right? They're sort of that dating app in between that are pairing up prescribers with those compounding pharmacies. So why is Lilly targeting them first? Well, I think ultimately they're going to target everybody, and it's a legal scare tactic, just step one of a legal scare tactic. So our 503B pharmacies, the high volume compounders next on the list, 503A pharmacies, I would expect absolutely they are. I always want to stop because there's so many people that want to just throw hate at Big Pharma, at Lilly, and at Novo Nordisk. And I certainly understand there's reason, and their profits honestly seem obscene. But we do want to say, hey, they should be lauded for the invention and commercialization of tirzepatide, and they should be able to make profits for their inventions. But there must be a way for them to think about their patients and not simply their profits. It is unreasonable to believe that the millions using compounded tirzepatide will be able to afford the exorbitant prices that Lilly charges, which leaves millions in a lurch, which means it leaves those of us relying on these things to treat our disease of obesity, to live a longer, healthier life, a more productive life, will simply be left out in the cold. Laraine and I have paid, basically cash prices for all of these medications since the get-go. Our insurance does not cover this. So this directly impacts us. So what could Lilly do? Well, we know what they could do. They could release the vials at all doses. They could work with co-packers, co-manufacturers to make sure that they can meet the demand and lower the price. So there are plenty of people in the world who can produce vials of medication. They could target $200 a month, which is basically what we've been paying for the compounded, and they could grow their market share and their profitability incrementally, just exponentially. The goal for them should be to help and profit from the 74% of Americans that have overweight or obesity, not just the small percentage that can afford $1,000 plus a month. The fallout is already starting. Patients are scrambling. Pharmacies are bracing for impact, and telehealth companies are in the crosshairs. Advocacy for affordable access to these life-saving medications is more important than ever. And of course, this isn't just about tirzepatide. This could roll to semaglutide eventually. It's part of the bigger fight over control of pricing and access. Lilly's latest move shows they're ready to flex their legal muscles, but patients, they're left hoping for better solutions and honestly soon. So has anything actually changed from earlier this week? No, not really. This, cease and desist letters have no legal authority. That is just Eli Lilly's large law firm sending nasty grams to a whole lot of people and hoping people will fold. Inevitably, some of them will stop selling these medications and Lilly will achieve part of their goal. They will not all do it. Inevitably, the telehealth providers and the compound pharmacies, there will be some group of them that bring their group of lawyers and say, we believe we're working within the FDA regulations to create unique prescriptions for unique patients, particularly the 503As, whether that be by adding vitamins, changing the doses, or something else. I don't know, but there's plenty of lawyers out there working on it. So what happens next? Well, next week there's another court date. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what the judge says, and then we'll see how it moves forward. Let me take a look at who's in the comments and see what's in the questions. Just to give you guys the update. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, a lot of hellos. Hello, everybody. Yes. Victoria says, hello, my tirzepatide body is cold too. Yeah, I get it. That's honestly my single longest lasting impact or side effect. Eva says, yes, Taylor, South Carolina. Hello, Eva. American Safety Training Solutions. Good morning from Texas. Let me know if you've got questions. Barb at Health at Any Cost says, here and listening, please. There's 132 people and 40 likes. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Alejandro, oh yeah, the delay is definitely due to the weather. There's no question about that. The judge actually says that in his letter. You can see it there on screen. Barb, yes, hit like and subscribe. Dave Mahaney, thank you for being a member. Dave says, Christopher, it sounds like the end is near. It's very possible, Dave. I don't think it's going to happen instantly, honestly. It could, but I think, the joy of our legal system is it takes a long time for things to happen. So there will be more court cases coming out of this. What are your thoughts on this for compounding? I mean, my thoughts are, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what's going to happen. I would get your order in right now, get as much as you can, stock up, and then we'll see what happens with the attorneys, because there will be some group of large compounding pharmacies and telehealth companies that have a whole group of lawyers that will all meet with the FDA lawyers and Eli Lilly's lawyers, and there'll be a battle royale. Who wins? Ultimately, I think we all need to plan for compounding to not be at volume. Do I think there will always be compounding versions of this? Yeah, I do. Do I think it will be able to supply to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people? No, probably not. So we need to plan to have other solutions. This is Lilly's patent. It is Novo Nordisk's patent on semaglutide. There are legal protections in place. Do I think we need to advocate for an evolution of the laws, for better health care, for PBMs to go away, for insurance coverage? Yeah, I think that's the win. I think we need to think about it when we're communicating with our politicians, when we're voting, when we're advocating with our employers, the whole 9 yards. Ultimately, the system's got to change. It's got to. Our healthcare system is badly broken. It's just Laura, also a member. Thank you very much, Laura. Good morning. So much uncertainty for thousands of patients. There is absolutely uncertainty for thousands of patients, and we're right there with you. Is all I can tell you, because we just got our 90-day supply of compounded Tirzepatide in from Mochi, and got it in the refrigerator, and I still have a prescription to Zepbound, so I maintain all of that. So we have a pretty good supply, but it only lasts for so long. Mark Klein, who is looking after the consumer, are we getting raked over the coals by Big Pharma and the corrupt FDA? I don't know that I believe the FDA is corrupt. I know there's lots of you out there that do. I really don't. I think there's a lot of career professionals who are doing their best, and coming out of the politics of the last 10 years, it certainly feels like there are sides of that believe it. I don't know that I believe that. Then from within the 66, also a member. This is such a sad situation. So many people depend on this medication. Mark Klein, we want price controls. Zepbound is $50 a month in Japan. Well, it's $50 a month in Japan because they have a completely different system. Although I am not an advocate for strictly socialized medicine, I am an advocate for reevaluating our healthcare system across the board, and there's got to be ways to make this better. There's no way that employer-based healthcare makes a lot of sense for the vast majority of people, and it's really just passing along a cost. There's no way we shouldn't be negotiating prices. There's no way PBMs should be making money off this. They just shouldn't exist. I think it's time for a wholesale reinvention that could get us to better pricing, better care, better service, even better innovation. I mean, even public-private partnerships. If the numbers are correct and 74% of America has overweight or obesity, or is overweight or obesity, depending on how you phrase it, it's a public health crisis. And it's an argument that it could be a national defense initiative to make sure that we can take care of ourselves. So there's lots of ways to do this. Jess says, this is so unfortunate. I'm at my goal from compound Tirzepatide and can't go back to life without it. We're with you. Video Data says, where does Dave get all these scoops from Chris? I think he's got some contacts at some of the telehealth companies that are sending him messages under the radar. Let's see here. Mimi, I hear compounding meds only last 45 days. How can we get 90 days if it will expire? Well, the compounding medications are different from each of the compounding pharmacies, and they have bud dates, so best used by dates. Each of the compounding pharmacies has slightly different formulas, and they have slightly different manufacturing methods and sealing methods. So there's a lot of factors that can make a bud date. So the preservatives that are used in every Tirzepatide, even Zepbound and Mounjaro, has some kind of preservative in it that makes it last. So they have to do all of those things. So like our 90-day prescription that we just got from Mochi, we got 3 vials that, as long as they stay sealed, are good for 6 months. So it depends on how it was sealed, what kind of vial you have, what kind of preservatives in it. There's a lot of things. Once those are open, generally the rule is, after, once you jabbed it, it's 28 days past that. So every pharmacy has a different method, and you have to go by their bud dates, and they follow federal standards for bud dates. So Elizabeth says, I am stockpiling up on semaglutide. I hope I still have time. So semaglutide is not part of this lawsuit, but we do know that Novo Nordisk has informed the FDA that it is no longer in shortage, and the FDA is doing their due diligence, theoretically, to go out and figure out whether it is. So they'll make an announcement about that shortage. Could be tomorrow, could be today. Who knows? There might be another breaking news date on that. But it's coming, and then we would assume that Novo Nordisk will do something similar to what Eli Lilly is. We would assume these court cases will set a legal precedent for the semaglutide piece. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would definitely stock up. Semaglutide is certainly a great option for a lot of people and has done very well. We also have seen 2 generic liraglutide products out there that I would expect the prices to be at 200 or under when they all get out into market. Could be great options for maintenance. The weight loss isn't quite as aggressive as semaglutide or tirzepatide, but there's options there. So, and then we've got a lot of drugs coming. There's a lot of things in development. One of the news stories we did the other day said there was 600 drugs in development. So there's stuff coming. We're going to do the best we can. We're going to stock up. We're going to see what's going on. Let's see what other questions do we have out there in the universe. There's currently 160 people on there and 49 likes. If you could hit like and subscribe for me, make sure you hit that alert bell. We'll be going live in our regular live this evening at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Laraine will join us. Actually, I think I heard Laraine come in just a minute ago from the gym, so who knows, she might stick her head in. But right now, that's the story. So to recap, the judge, due to weather in the Texas case, has pushed out the date to when to next week. So we'll see that coming. And then the Eli Lilly's been sending out cease and desist letters. Let's see here. Alejandra, please advise. I have my first appointment with Mochi this Sunday. Should I start Tirzepatide and get 3 months, or should I try semaglutide? Alejandra, that's up to you and your physician. We're not doctors. Tirzepatide has worked really, really well for us. But, that's going to be up to you and your physician. Ava says, I'm on Mounjaro for diabetes, so my Advantage plan covers, but I still pay $269. Hopefully the race for new drugs will bring prices down. That's the goal. I mean, that's the hope, right? Is as new players come into the market, as new drugs get out, as more manufacturing gets up and running, the ability for the price to come down does. Shelly S. from members, she says she just got a new shipment and her bud date is December 2025. So there you go. Nice long bud date on it. So yeah, it's, there's lots of people out there that believe the price will never come down because the companies are too greedy and they can make $1,000 a month. I honestly believe it will come down sooner rather than later because the companies are too greedy, because they are looking at the larger number. So just in the US, if you look at 74% of America is overweight or obese or has overweight or obesity, the market size is billions and billions and trillions. If it's $200 or $100 or $300, whatever, versus the $1,200 plus it is right now. So at some point, they're going to get their manufacturing up and running, and they're going to get some more drugs out. They're going to get a pill out, an oral version out, and they're going to say, I want the 74%, and the sheer greed is going to lower the price. Right now, they're using the price to moderate demand. I mean, they're just keeping it down. They're selling every dose they have, so there's no reason to lower the price. But it'll come. It absolutely will. All right, here we say 147 folks on the line right now. Say hello where you are if you have any questions. See if we can answer a few more things before we get out here, before I go have lunch. All right, let's see who else we have. So is this the end? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Barb says, from Health at Any Cost, I want to share that I am on a standard psych medication whose generic price is $837. Yeah, I mean, Barb, it just points out, and it's not just the psych medications, it's cancer drugs, it's lupus drugs, it's all these things out there that the system is just broken. And we absolutely want our companies to innovate, to make a profit. But the way the system's set up right now, everybody's making a dime off of us. So the manufacturers are making money, the PBM is making money, the drugstore is making money, the distributor's making money, everybody's making money. Some of that system has to be more transparent. Some of it honestly got to go away. I can't imagine why a PBM needs to survive in this mix. Well, that's why the system's got to change, Barb. Absolutely. Jen F says you can find expiration dates online under USP 797 and USP 800. It is indeed 45 days unless it's frozen. So there you go, Barb. So it changes. I know they're working a couple of USPs there. It depends on their processes. All right. So let's see who we have. 145 folks out there. If you'll take a moment and hit like and subscribe, that would be awesome. We, of course, are tracking this very, very closely. If you'd like to join us for our regular live stream this evening at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we would love to have you be a part of that. I'm sure we'll be talking more about this. And barring any more questions, that's going to be about it for me today. And I will see you this afternoon. All right. So if you have not already, please check out our website at thedownsized.org. You can go there, and if you're seeing a drug shortage, there's a link to the FDA shortage site where you can report it. Make sure that you get that down. You can also become a member of our Club Downsized, which is our YouTube membership program. If you'd like to, click join right underneath there. And then, as always, if you hit like and subscribe, we deeply appreciate it because it keeps you informed of what's going on and it helps tell the YouTube algorithm what is going on. So thank you very much for being a part of today's stream. And I am sure we will be back to cover more of this breaking story. So thank you for watching The Downsized. I'm Christopher Durham. And again, we are The Downsized. Have a great day.